this up because there's other people that can share as we go. So, Maureen, I'll let you click it. Okay, so we got a couple disclaimers. One of them is that real estate by its very nature can be risky. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. We can't guarantee a profit or loss. We do not provide legal or accounting or contracting advice. Said another way, disclaimer two, everything we say tonight's a lie. If you like it, try it on. Basically what I'm saying is don't sue us. We're here sharing what we know, not charging for it. And so those are our disclaimers. So the agenda for tonight is Fred's going to talk to us how he's shifted over time in the marketplace and what he's done to move through it. You know, when I first met Fred, I don't know, it's been, how long? 3 years or 4 years, something, I don't know.
Yeah.
So he was in the rental business. He flipped to find, fix, and sell. Then he's worked through some other really unique programs he's going to talk about, like where he brought buyers to the sellers. He's doing wholesaling today. He's done the bandit signs. He's done the cold calling, but he's now got this one, I'm just going to call it driving, and he's got a real good program around it he's going to share with you. So if you're an experienced investor, a new investor, it'll be some really good advice. We're going to talk about how to get your overhead removed, especially in today's game. We're going to talk about what's going on in the market, how people are closing their offices, and that might be something to look at if you've got a lot of overhead to look at doing the same and how you can shift to more of a vertical thing. We're going to look at the ability to use world labor, and I'll talk in depth on that. We're going to talk about using loss mitigation, both as a investor and also the people you're dealing with. And then I'm going to talk about how you can model success by looking at some people. And I'm going to, hey, Todd, raise your hand up. So I'm going to call him an old dog. He's a lot younger than me. So looking at what people that are out doing it every day and doing it with mass actions do. Yep. And then we're going to talk about how to model success, sometimes referred to as case success. And case means to copy and steal everything. And give us some examples of it. And then we're going to talk about if I was a new investor, what I'd be doing. And we're going to open it up for questions and answers. And you can raise your hand and ask questions along the way. I've been doing this for a few years. I've been incredibly active in originally in rental properties. I had about 350 of them. I was active in getting into the find, fix, and flip business and actually in the Pontiac market. I've also been very successful at, you hear about people that they rise to their level of incompetency. So I did that. I woke up one morning and said, if I can buy 8 houses and fix them and flip them, I can do 80. And I couldn't. And that took me down. So I've certainly stepped on a lot of landmines over the years. And then I got very heavy duty into wholesaling. And today what I am is I'm old, fat, and I'm a lead generator. And I focus on generating leads and giving them to younger people like Todd and Fred, and working out splits on the profit with them. So what I do for them today is I'm an internet marketer, and I handle internet marketing for a couple pretty big major players in the dumpster business, and lots of small businesses all over the country that are service businesses. And I'm going to share some of that with you tonight on what you're going to do with your real estate business to get found. So, and then Fred.
Yes.
I made this stuff up. So I'm going to let you talk about yourself. I forgot to go over that with we were on earlier, but I do know okay. There's accurate. I just didn't know about the 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years is about right. About 10 years in, like I said, when me and you met, I was doing buy and holds. Actually, I had did about 4 to 5 in 1 year. I I had got into, found out about wholesaling and dove right in,
Yeah.
I mean, just dove right in, didn't hesitate anything. And it worked out kind of well for me on one hand, but then on the other hand, it didn't. Because I wasn't experienced, I didn't know a lot, but I was doing it,
Yeah.
So I didn't. I end up with about 8 rentals. I had them for about 2-3 years, and then I end up getting rid of all of them because, like I said, I didn't buy them right. Certain things I didn't do right, you know, and I had to learn the hard way. But I end up getting out of them. Didn't take too bad of a loss, and just started wholesaling after that.
The sad part is most of the successful investors I know today have had a similar experience.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's having a failure or doing something wrong. It's just a more expensive seminar.
Yeah. It was a
I can
learning
vouch for
experience.
that too.
It was a learning experience.
Yeah. So let me tell you how I met Fred on the very first deal I did. I had a property that was donated. It was on the east side. It was a 2-unit, had an attached liquor store that was closed. And it was really a scary neighborhood. It was a lot of drugs. I was actually afraid to even get out of my car and go near it. And I'd been doing this a long time. I couldn't get a buyer interested in it. And Fred came along, and the charity that I worked for took automobiles. So Fred took a car that he had. And what year was that car? A Crown.
That car was a 80, about an 84.
84 Crown Vic that ran.
Yeah.
And he gave the car to the charity in exchange for the property. But here's what's interesting that happened. So what was the result of that?
What happened is that I sold the property. It took me about 4 months. But I ended up selling it, and I made about $4,000 off of it, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the guys that bought it from you sold it the very next day to somebody else, right?
Yeah, for like double that and then some.
But just to vouch my story, you were also afraid to go in near the property, right?
Hey, I was not getting out over there, buddy. Not at all. Never stepped in the property, never seen it. Only way I seen it was from the street. I had no idea what was going on with it.
Well, the risk was good.
That property is still vacant at this time. Still vacant.
Okay.
I don't know.
So there's an example how you can make money. So we'll go to the next slide. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to Fred and let you talk a little bit about, you kind of did already, but maybe you can tell us, like think about 2 years ago, you were doing some stuff when I see you at Renegade. You had all these, you were bringing deals to sellers. Can you talk about, because that was a good shift and how you shifted yourself in the market at the time?
Oh, okay. Yeah, with the land contracts I was doing. It had got real slow for me, wholesaling. And I wasn't pulling in too many deals or anything like that. And I kept getting calls. I kept getting people saying, that they were looking for houses, but they couldn't buy contemporary, and that they were looking for homes. So I just got to thinking, and I did see something over the internet about lease options or something like that. It was a guy running a course about that. And then I started thinking, and I said, all these deals that I can't get done, the people want too much for the houses. I thought, wanted too much. What could I do? So I just sat down, brainstormed, and that's what I came up with. I came up with the, land contracts, bringing sellers and buyers together and solving one problem. So people needed to get rid of their houses. They were relocating, things like that. They wanted above market for investors for what the house was worth. So it ended up working out. I put them in a land contract, got the people what they wanted for their house, and it was a win-win deal. And I I wouldn't say I made as much as I would make as wholesaling on a deal, but I made decent money.
Yeah. And for people that are like tuned in, a land contract is kind of exclusive to Michigan. In other states, they're called contracts for deed. And I think there's only about 11 states that actually do contracts for deeds. But basically what it is, it's like seller financing. They got somebody that's willing to buy. In Michigan, you do the contract for deed. So they're doing is paying over time. The seller finances. When they pay the property off, then they get the deed to it. So they sign a contract. When the contract's paid, they get the deed. The one nice thing when somebody sells it like that, they don't have one huge tax event because they only have to pay for what they received taxes on in that 1 year. So it's a really nice tool, works really well. And, it was being creative and it paid off. So.
Absolutely.
So what's the big tip you can give us from a wholesaling perspective? I know that you've done bandit signs. I know you've done cold calling, but like what's working for you today?
What's working for me today?
What advice could you give somebody like Todd that's on the call, that's active?
Hey man, well Todd's the man. I can't give him no advice. You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm just kidding. But no, some advice. I'll give some advice that somebody gave me. Another thing that happened to me when I was trying to do this, I was trying to do too many things at one time. I was just spreading myself out too thin. I would say find one thing and do that. Don't get pulled in too many different directions, and just stick with that till it works for you. And that's what I did with this is my first time ever really doing driving for dollars. I had did pretty much everything else, but I've never done driving for dollars. And I started doing that, and I like it. I like the response rate. I like being able to be at the actual house, being able to pull the information up when I'm right there. Yeah.
So how are you doing driving for dollars?
Well, I do it with an app. Input all my information as I'm driving. Choose the houses, input the information. And once I get back home, I skip trace them. Well, I don't skip trace them. I have a VA. And they log into my account. They skip trace them and then they text them. Now you can do that two different ways. A lot of people cold call the numbers, but I found texting has a much better response. It's more of I would say more of a warm cold lead, because if you text someone, they'll give you a response like pretty much right away. Instead of if they see a number that they don't know or something like that and the phone's ringing, they just bypass that. But more people answer texts, even if they saying no, don't ever call me again, whatever. But they do respond. Because, I believe the response rate for texting is like 90%, if not more. So I do the driving in the app, record all the information. Once I get home, I put it in, it's already in the app. I had a VA to go to the app, skip trace all the numbers, and then we text. Then if we don't, pardon me? Go ahead.
So I'm brand new. I don't even understand. How am I driving? What determines what house? You're just driving down the street, looking at houses, and you.
Oh yeah. Well,
there's a lot of new people.
You're looking for some kind of motivation. You're looking for houses that have lawns that are, not taken care of, roofs maybe that need attention. Something that's saying with the house that may be saying that somebody's in need or something. Something's not right here, So that's mainly with me. I look at the roofs. I go off the roofs mainly, and that's been working for me. If I see an old roof or a peeling roof or something like that, that's that's a red, a blinking light for me.
Okay.
And
So then you're going to
yeah.
give that to your VA to look up the information.
Well,
And,
yeah, it's going to record it in the app. It's going to be recorded in the app, and then all
okay.
they have to do is just go into my app and do it from there.
Okay.
You
Now,
know,
what
and
app? What app are you using?
Do you use, Fred?
oh, I'm using PropStream now.
Okay.
PropStream just added a driving for dollars to the app, and it's free.
Nice.
You know, so
Free.
and I was using another one too, Deal Machine.
Right.
I was using Deal Machine as well, and I like Deal Machine as well too. I have them both, actually. I have them both, but I'm gonna show you how good that these things are. I just signed a 2-family flat. Matter of fact, it's the one that me and you sold, Todd.
Okay.
On LaBelle.
Oh yeah.
I'm reselling that 2-family flat. I got it signed and everything.
You're reselling it?
I'm reselling it again. Yeah.
So the people that bought it never did anything with it, right?
No, my buyers in Georgia. You remember them?
Yeah.
And all the ones that they bought, I'm about to resell them.
Nice.
They did nothing with them. But anyway, it's a 2-family flat right next door. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
To that one. And it's wide open vacant, but it has a new roof and everything on it. So I pulled up with the app, dialed them right there, and instead of me sending it to the VA, I skip traced it myself. It gave me the number right there. I called the people. Now I have that 2-family flat under contract.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So it was just that instant. I called them right then and right there.
Yeah, so if someone's new and they want to do this, that's the best way to do it. If they can't, VA, hiring someone to do that for you,
yeah,
is the best way. While you're there, like you did, you skip trace them right there. Some of the apps, like I think Driving for Dollars, it costs money, but they might be able to get a phone number for you.
Yeah. I got the phone number right there, and I called and made contact within the first 10 minutes of, just sitting there.
Good job.
Yep.
And what did you say? I'm in front of your house and,
Yeah, pretty much. I was sitting here. I noticed that your property's wide open here, and sure enough, hey, my mother passed about 5 years ago. I'm the brother. Well, first the sister. They gave me the sister's number, and the sister said, "Well, no, my brother's handling that now," so she gave me his number.
Nice.
And it has like 4,000 in taxes. It has a big water bill, stuff like that. But I got it signed really at a really good price that I still could, sell it.
So if I'm a brand new investor listening to this, get the app and I'm driving down the street, I'll ask you too, Todd. So, and I find a house, but I don't know how to comp it. I don't know how to do anything, but I can get hold of the owner. So what do I do next once I find one with a bad roof?
Oh, okay. Well, on the particular app that I have for PropStream, the reason why I like PropStream so much, it has a thing right there. When you look up the house, it has a comp button. You push the button and it gives you comps right there.
Great.
And I'm not saying they're the most accurate comps, but they do give you a general idea,
Yeah. And then after you've done this so long in the same neighborhood, where you don't even need the comps because you already know.
Absolutely.
It's up for $4,000. I can sell it to another investor.
Yeah.
I mean, for just getting started. And then if I was just getting started, I'm going to give some advice. You actually will need to team up with somebody like Fred or Todd, somebody that's moving properties that has a big buyers list, because it doesn't do you any good to find a deal that you can't move. So you can, if you're going to, you might even be, it would be a good idea to just split the deal with them, work out a arrangement where you can learn it, but you're going to learn it the right way. So, if you're in another market, you want to look for the experienced investor that's out really working and putting deals together. So,
yeah, even if you just find someone, you don't even have to get it under contract. You just call me or Fred. We'll get it under contract. We'll help you through the whole, or at least talk you through it. We could go there with you. We could go there by ourselves. It all depends on, you know, everyone's situation is different. Some people are working, but you know, we can help you sell it. We could do a little. We could do anything.
So if you see on the screen, and I'm going to send anybody that's on the tonight, you can contact me. It'll be on this before we get through it. You can write down my contact information. Go to the meetup site and just email me there, and I'll send you the this PowerPoint. But the PowerPoint's got YouTubes on it, so there's a 5-minute YouTube on there that Fred did. YouTube that can actually change your life, especially if you're a new investor, experienced investor, just talking about what you just saw here. So we'll go on to the next slide because we got a lot to cover. So Fred, thank you. That was great. Did you have anything to add to that?
No, just to add a little bit more. The other things that I do as far as lead generation, I pull lists from PropStream as well, absentee owners, probates, tax, pre-foreclosure. All this is on the same app that I'm telling you about.
And is that for free or you...
No, it costs.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about $100 a month.
Yeah.
All these things that I was just talking about, they cost.
Yeah.
I mean,
is there a separate? Hey, Fred, if you're on PropStream, I know it's $100 a month or 99 or 97.
Right.
Is the Driving for Dollars app cost more money besides that?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. The Driving for Dollars is $50 a month.
Okay.
Now they have a cheaper one, but I never tried to call Propella or something like that. Propelio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that one's a little cheaper. You can get that one pretty cheap, Driving for Dollars per month. All the ones that I was mentioning, they do cost. You know, so a lot of people that are just starting out may not want to start that way. You know, but I'm just telling you the way that I'm doing it right now.
Right.
You know, but there are other ways that you can lead generate that don't cost as much.
Right. And I heard some great wisdom from somebody on a podcast, and a lot of people, especially new wholesalers, let's say you get a deal and you make $5,000, which is a pretty good sized deal, I would say. Mm-hmm. I'm happy with $5,000 on a wholesale deal. But anyways, a lot of people might then take that money and put it back in their business, and they might waste it all, right? My suggestion is take 80% of that money, which 80% of 5,000 is $4,000, and put it in your bank account, pay your bills, live off of that, and then take $1,000 and go buy some lists, get driving the apps Fred's talking about. Don't, do something like that, and that way you're always hungry and you're going after it, because you could spend 5,000 on, you could blow it, you could, that way, that and I never did it that way. I never took my money and then took 80% and put it in the bank and paid my bills and things like that. I just always went crazy. So try to learn from my mistakes and take 80%, use it for your family, put it away, pay your bills, put the money in the bank, and then take the 1,000 and invest it back in your business to generate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to read this. I got it on my golds thing, and it's called the net gain game. What would have happened if you or your organization, instead of working on today's crisis, built something worthwhile for tomorrow? What would have been discussed instead? What would have been designed instead? The urgency of today feels like an appropriate reason to step away from the important thing we might have been doing instead. Weeks, months later, we don't remember what that urgent thing was. All we have to show for it is the thing that we didn't build. So Fred, you gave a great tool there, and it's just exactly what you said, Todd. You need to put the energy and the money back into building
Yeah.
that. It'll pay off over and over and over again.
Yes, it will.
Yep.
So real quickly, since I've got you, Todd, what are some things that you're doing today's market that's different from before?
In today's market, than different than before is you get down more back to the basics, like calling for dollars. Yeah, right. Just cold calling, pretty much.
Yeah.
Calling people. Definitely follow-ups is huge.
Huge.
You got to follow up like it's going out of style, and you're never going to lose a deal because you followed up too much. I promise you that. Okay. So, those are some good things. Fred, same thing, driving for dollars, and, networking, not just networking, maybe going through your buyers. If you have a buyer's list, and especially in times like this, is picking up a phone and really find out if they're really buyers. Calling them, are you buying now? Are you buying like you were? And you kind of, make that relationship with them a little bit stronger. Find out when they're looking to buy next. Try to figure out and kind of keep it organized too. So when you do have a deal for them in their area, you could just pick up the phone and call them. So I guess those are a few things there that definitely networking with other wholesalers is a huge thing. Squatting up with other people that are doing the same thing that you're doing, and how can you help them? You might be good at